Hey, Michael. I watched a science fiction movie recently. The idea was that people could move their minds into machines and live forever, even if their bodies were gone. Do you think it is really possible in science?
That's an interesting topic. Moving your mind to a machine, well, in theory, it might not be impossible. Scientists are actually doing a lot of research on it right now.
Wow. So maybe it will happen someday?
The big problem is that we don't even know what consciousness is. We don't understand the system of our own minds yet.
You don't know what consciousness is? I thought consciousness is your feelings, like being happy or sad, or the part that helps you decide what to do next.
That's what most people think. But in brain science, there is a surprising idea. The feeling that you are making a conscious choice might just be an illusion, a mistake by your brain.
An illusion. I can't believe that my choices are not real.
Let me explain with a famous experiment from the 1980s by Professor Benjamin Libet. He gave electric signals to the part of the patient's brain that controls arm feelings.
So they felt a touch just by stimulating the brain? That's amazing.
Yes. The important thing is that the patient did not feel anything unless the signal lasted for more than zero point 0.5 seconds. The brain needs time to notice the feeling.
So the feeling only happens if the signal is zero point 0.5 seconds or longer.
Exactly. Then he did something else. He gave the electric signal and, at the same time, he touched the patient's other arm directly.
The electric signal is zero point 0.5 seconds late, so the direct touch should feel faster, right?
That's the logical answer. But the patients felt both signals at exactly the same time. This suggests that all the things we feel with our five senses are actually about zero point 0.5 seconds late from the real world.
If our consciousness is zero point 0.5 seconds late, we would have problems everywhere. Like in sports, a baseball pitcher throws a ball and it takes only zero point 0.4 seconds to reach the batter.
Go on.
If my consciousness is zero point 0.5 seconds late, the ball is already gone before my mind even sees it. I would never be able to hit the ball.
That is a great question. That would only be a problem if your conscious mind had to make the decision. Let's look at Libet's second experiment. He asked people to move their hands whenever they wanted. He recorded the time they decided to move and the time the hand actually moved.
The hand moved about zero point 0.2 seconds after the decision, which makes sense for the body's time.
Yes, but he also measured the brainwave that starts the movement. The brainwave started zero point 0.3 seconds before the person consciously said, "I will move now."
What? The brain started the plan before I decided to do it?
That's right. This means that your unconscious brain makes the decision before your conscious mind knows about it. Now we can solve the baseball mystery. When the ball is thrown, your unconscious brain decides in real time if you should hit it and moves your body. Your consciousness only gets the report of the action zero point 0.5 seconds later.
Ah, so the unconscious part makes the fast decision, and my consciousness is just watching the result.
Another interesting thing, this late consciousness causes a strange thing called the cutaneous rabbit illusion.
What is that?
They quickly touched a person's arm twice in the same spot, and then quickly touched it once in a spot far away. That's 3 touches in total.
Okay.
The person felt that the second touch seemed to move toward the third touch, even though the first 2 touches were in the same place.
So, a future event changes a present feeling?
Not exactly. In the real world, the zero point 0.5 seconds earlier, all 3 touches are already in the past. Your slow consciousness is simply confused because the brain already experienced the third touch and pulls the feeling of the second touch toward it.
Wow. It really feels like my mind is just watching a show. So, if the unconscious mind decides everything, does that mean my conscious mind has no power to decide what I do?
That is the idea. We often think we are in control, but it might be a big misunderstanding. Your conscious mind is not the commander. It is just an observer watching yourself in the world. This is called the observer hypothesis.
My mind is just watching? That's scary. And why do you say that even the reason for my actions is an illusion?
Look at the split brain patient experiments. Doctors cut the connection between the two sides of the brain. The left side controls speaking. A patient was told to scratch your head through an image shown only to their right brain. The left brain, which speaks, never got the instruction, but the patient scratched their head.
If the left brain didn't get the order, the patient can't explain why they scratched their head.
But when asked, the patient said, "Because my head was itchy." Another patient said, "I wanted to get a juice."
They made up a reason that had nothing to do with the real instruction.
Exactly. This shows that your conscious mind sees the action that already happened, scratching, and then quickly creates a reason that makes sense. They call this making up a reason after the fact.
Wow. So the thoughts we have about why we do things are just stories our conscious mind tells itself.
So the big question remains, if our consciousness does not decide things, why do we have it? If it is just a slow observer, it seems useless.
That's true. Why bother with a slow mind?
One idea is that consciousness exists for a highly important activity called episodic memory. This is your diary-like memory, the memory of when and where things happened.
Memory of events.
For complex humans to survive and learn from the past, this memory is necessary. And we need a conscious experience to create this special kind of memory.
I see. Consciousness is necessary for us to remember important events for our survival.
Yes. And the feelings you have, like the redness of an apple or the feeling of pain, we call these qualia, also help with memory.
How do feelings help memory?
When we feel a strong qualia, the memory becomes stronger and easier to recall later. For example, you remember a very painful day more easily than a normal breakfast. Qualia gives your important memories a strong impression.
So, consciousness is not for the now, but for the future. It creates memories to help the unconscious mind make better choices next time.
That's a perfect summary. Consciousness can't decide the immediate action, but the memories it creates help set long-term goals and guide future unconscious decisions.
This was so interesting. Thank you, Michael.
You are very welcome. See you next time.